So are you a little bit confused on what to expect when you go and meet with a modeling agency? In this video, I'm going to be sharing all the tips on what to wear, what to expect so that you can be prepared. Hello there, it is your girl Kamla-Kay with Kamla-Kay.com. I'm a professional agency signed model and I'm also a modeling coach for aspiring models. So in this video, we're going to be talking about everything as it relates to what you should expect when you go and meet with a modeling agency. So let's dive into that with all of the various tips. First and foremost, when you go and meet with a modeling agency, you want to make sure that you show up on time. The agency will always list out either on their social media pages or on their website the allowed time of when aspiring models can come in to meet with them. So you want to make sure that you adhere to that and that you do not show up late. That's tip number one. Tip number two, in terms of how to dress when you arrive, you want to make sure that you wear something form-fitting. Generally speaking, models will show up to meet with an agency in all black attire, such as skinny jeans and a tank top, for example. And you also want to make sure that you wear strappy heels, something that just really elongates your body. As it relates to your attire, I know often we think about our clothing, our heels, things of that nature for attire. I want to also talk about the hair, especially for my melanin babes. I know sometimes we have a tendency to wear wigs just to give our hair a break or just to switch up our looks. When it comes to the modeling industry, a lot of times clients, they want to see us in natural state. And by natural state, I don't always mean the hair that's growing on your head. I want to make sure that you are cognizant of the fact that if you're wearing a blonde wig or if you're wearing a light brown wig that just doesn't fit with the general look that you see within the modeling industry, things like that could potentially affect if an agency wants to sign you. So regardless if you're Caucasian, regardless if you're black, white, what have you, be mindful of your hair. Look at the agency's portfolio pages on their website and see what are the hair colors that they tend to like for their models. If yours tends to be a little bit out there, a little bit wild, it's not to say that the agency is not going to sign you. It just means that it's a potential that they will not be as keen to consider you if they feel like you don't have the model look. So be mindful of your hair. If you are someone that usually wears wigs, I'm also going to link a video here somewhere of another video that I created talking about the various types of wigs that I personally use for my modeling career and that has brought me much success. So be sure to check that one out. Now, you've shown up on time, you're in the appropriate clothing. What should you bring with you so that you are ready for actually meeting with the agencies? It is always best to bring some photos with you. Now, I understand that a lot of people may not already have professional images. If you do, that's great. Bring those with you, bring a portfolio with you. But if you don't, make sure that you take whatever images that you can of yourself and either create a comp card, and I actually will link here somewhere a video that I did make on what is a comp card and how to create one. So you can go ahead, create one for yourself, go to places like Office Max, Office Depot, Kinko's, what have you, and get one of those printed out. But you always want to show up with some sort of pictures, even if you're not very experienced and have a professional portfolio as of yet. Next tip is that you want to make sure that when you meet with the agencies, you already know your body measurements. So at home, simply get a tape measure and measure your bust measurements, your waist measurements, and your hip measurements. You can also find videos all over the internet on how to properly measure yourself so that you're getting an accurate reading, because what happens is when you go and meet with the agencies, they're going to have an information sheet that they're going to ask you to fill out when you arrive. So it's going to have the basics such as your name, your address, your phone number, and then they're going to want specific things such as your body measurements, what size shoes you wear, your hair color, your eye color, things of that nature. Now, speaking of location on the form, the reason that the agencies ask you for your address, your location, is because they want to see what your proximity is in relation to that agency. Are you going to be available to go on casting calls, or do you live too far that you're always going to have to tell the agency that you're not available? So keep that in mind when you are selecting agencies that you potentially want to sign with. Aside from your general information on the form that I mentioned, the agencies often will ask you as well, what is your social media handle? Because nowadays it's pretty much a requirement or a request from all agencies that models have an Instagram page or a social media presence, typically on Instagram. So you want to make sure that since that information is going to be requested of you, agencies are going to be looking at that page if they are on the fence, or even if they're just deciding in general if they want to offer your contract. So just make sure that your Instagram is up to par in terms of just looking professional, that there's no questionable types of content on there that could potentially decrease your chances of being signed by the modeling agency. Next tip in terms of what to expect when meeting with the agencies is they're going to want to take digital pictures of you, or something that's also called Polaroids. Before I continue with these tips, if you are liking these videos that I am putting out all about the modeling industry, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Also hit the bell notification icon button, because that's what actually alerts you to the fact that I just uploaded a new video. And as always, leave some comments down below. Let me know what other tips you want me to put out about the modeling industry. All right, let's continue. Polaroids and digitals are interchangeable terms within the modeling industry that essentially means snapshot photos of you. So the agency oftentimes are going to take digitals of you in your full attire from head to toe in the outfit that you arrived in, and then sometimes they will ask you if you brought a bathing suit with you. You always want to make sure that you bring a bathing suit with you, or that you wear one underneath your outfit. It's always best to wear and bring a neutral color bathing suit, such as just a solid black, because the agencies will sometimes ask for you to go into a separate room, change out of your clothing, and come back out in your bathing suit so that they can take digitals of you. They'll take the digital photos of you against a plain, usually white wall, and that way they can just see exactly what your body type is and if it fits within the agency needs at that time. Now, in terms of preparing yourself to go meet with the agency, you want to make sure that you're doing very natural, light makeup, if any makeup at all. The agencies want to see you. They don't want to see you totally glammed out. Do not go in there wearing false lashes. Just be your natural self. A light lip gloss color is perfectly fine. Also, if you're going to wear earrings, make sure that they're stud earrings, nothing too fancy, too crazy. So I know obviously if you're going to meet with an agency, maybe this is your first time going to meet with an agency, maybe you're not yet signed to a modeling agency. I know you could potentially be a little bit nervous, a little bit anxious on, are they going to like me? Are they going to sign me? Maybe this is your dream agency and you're hoping that this is going to work out. Here's a big tip. Make sure that you walk in there confident. And by confident, I don't mean cocky. There is a major difference. So when you meet with agencies, they want to see that you have personality. They want to see that if they do sign you and then they send you to go meet with their clients, that you're not going to be a clam, or that you're not going to be able to know how to interact with the clients. They want to make sure that you know how to have an eloquent conversation. So even if you are a little bit shy naturally, just make sure that you put forth that extra effort to show a little bit more personality and to show that you have confidence. Let them know that this is a goal of yours, that you are ready and willing to put in the time and the effort that it takes. The agencies are going to be asking you various questions about yourself. They want to get to know you. So make sure that you're prepared to just answer some basic questions and show them that you can converse and have a good conversation. So before we continue, leave a comment below. Have you met with a modeling agency before? What was your experience like with them? Or are you planning to go meet with a modeling agency and you have additional questions? Let me know in the comments below and I'll be sure to review those and get back with you. Now, after the agencies have taken your digitals, after they've asked you various questions about yourself just to get to know you, they will either say at that point whether or not they're going to sign you, or they may say, we're going to take some time to review the information of all of the models that we saw today, and then we will get back to you if we're interested in signing you. It is very typical for agencies to not give you a decision that specific day if they're going to offer your contract or not. They will often take the time to then go and have a conversation with their entire team, and then they will vote with the team members, the bookers at the agency, and decide if they want to contact you and then offer you a contract. So don't be discouraged if you don't get a yes right away. Sometimes that is not necessarily a bad sign if you don't get a decision that day from the agency. Now, let's say that an agency is super excited about you. They are just ready to sign you that day that they meet you at their agency open call or at the meeting that they've set up to meet with you. This is exciting news, right? You're getting the chance to be offered a contract. If an agency offers you a contract the day that you meet them, do not sign the contract that day. It is always best, and it looks very professional on your end, and it's just also a good business practice to say, I'm going to be taking this contract home. I will review it and then get back to you in about 2 to 3 business days. You just want to make sure that you're taking the time, void of all of the excitement, to review all of the fine print to make sure that you get all of your potential questions answered before you enter into a binding contract, because the contracts with the agencies are generally for a period of 2 years, and you just want to make sure that you fully understand everything that is written in that contract before you sign on the dotted line. All right, so we talked about your attire, wear. We talked about what makeup to wear. We spoke about what images you should bring to the agency with you. And also I got into the tips about what are the things that the agency is going to be asking you. Are you going to be available, for instance, based on your location? We also mentioned the fact that agencies are going to potentially want to take digital pictures of you, not just in your regular clothing that you came in with, but also in your bathing suit. And then I made sure to mention to you the contracts, because that is super important that you make sure that you do not sign any legal documents until you have fully reviewed them. So that was a quick tip video today on what you can expect when you meet with a modeling agency. Be sure that you are fully prepared and that you are going to be presenting yourself in a manner that exudes confidence when you meet with the agency, so that you increase your odds of potentially getting signed with them. All right, I promise this is gonna be it, and then I'm gonna go. But if you'd like additional tips about the modeling industry, be sure to check out my website, Kamla-Kay.com. There are free downloads on there. That's it, free of charge, free downloads. That'll help progress your interest, your career in the modeling industry. So make sure that you go snag that free content. And until the next video, I will see you soon. Have an amazing week, and thanks for all the love and support. Bye.